Hi everyone, good evening. Surendra, Chanakya, good evening. I hope all of you are doing well. Today we are going to do 35th episode of the Logophile Lounge, in which we will be discussing basics of advertising. Um, Hi Anupam. Right. Um, Arun, good evening. So, the objective of today's session is, as you know, to learn the basics of advertising, especially digital advertising, and improve, learn certain terms in the process, right? Okay. So, all right. So let's start now. We will quickly begin with the session now, without any further delay. So just give me a second. All right, so welcome to the 35th episode of the Logophile Lounge, and we are going to do basics of advertising today, right? Yes, Sunanda, Chandrima, good evening. Good evening, all of you. Alina, Tanesh, Sarvani. So great to see you, all of you here, right? Feel free to ask if you have any questions. Uh, I want to make it as interactive as possible, right? So let's start. This is slightly technical as compared to what we do in classroom in terms of advertising and copywriting. This is slightly technical, so I've taken a technical route and to explain what goes behind, what numbers goes behind digital advertising. Um, Meanwhile, please also like this video so that the more engagement shows up. This is my request. All right, Bhumika, Ashish, Hina, Cynthia, good evening, all of you. Let's start now. This is the agenda, basics of advertising. Duration, I expect it will not go beyond 90 minutes, so we will be here for 90 minutes. Yes, Pradeep, good evening. This session should be very useful to you at least. Yes, Pradeep. So, first is why advertising, right? Let's understand this. And the answer to this is in the last episode we had seen. So, we will begin with the last Thursday, that episode number 34 that we had done, that business departments has certain number of departments we had discussed: finance, sales and marketing, operations, HR, purchase, R&D, legal. Today our focus is sales and marketing. All right. Sales and marketing has again divided into two parts. One is sales and another is marketing. Right, this is where we had left last time. We had discussed the difference between sales and marketing. Now it's time to discuss that. So, sales, as you can see, uh, has its entirely different department. It is further divided into various sub departments like agency sales, channel sales, corporate sales, and direct sales, depending on the kind of business, the size of business, the nature of business, right? It depends on various factors. For example, agency sales is something that you uh, sell your products and services through agents, and they get commission for their sales. Insurance is one of the best example of agency sales, right? Not just insurance, but also you see like LPG cylinders that we take it from certain agency. So agency owners get a commission on every sale that they make. So insurance is also one of those examples. So in your company as an organization, you will set up an agency department that will look out, that will work for hiring more agents, training them about your products and services so that you'll be able to sell your products to a larger audience. The second is channel sales. So channel sales is very common in manufacturing organizations. So from manufacturing to retail to a shop, the final shop, you have various third party uh, organizations that handle your product, right? So manufacturer will manufacture the product, that will go to distributors, right? And then distributor will finally will sell further to wholesalers, and then wholesalers sell it to retailers. This is the normal chain, but there could be the chain could be slightly different also. So so you manage your product through a distribution channel, and this is usually we discuss that in a distribution channel. Supply chain management. This also comes under supply chain management. So that is primarily channel sales is uh, handled in manufacturing department. Corporate sales, when your clients are corporates, you sell in bulk, then it is considered in a corporate sales. So your target audience will be CXOs, CEOs, uh, human resource officers. So basically, you target to organizations. You sell your products and services to organizations, and that is part of corporate sales. And then direct sales is something that you sell directly to uh, customers. So, like uh, in the last episode, we had seen the example of Airtel. They had direct sales agents who further sell the products, the broadband connections to individual customers, right? So, they are direct sales. These are the department of sales departments. Marketing, on the other end, is different from this. Marketing is the first is department which is market research, and I'm talking about the normal departments. It could be different departments also, but primarily in most of the organization you will find these departments. Market research is something which works on getting some insights about the market, about the consumers, about the consumer behavior, so that you can target, you can target them precisely. You can create, develop new product. You can set the right pricing so that you can generate, you can maximize your sales. So price decisions on what price should we pick up, uh, introduction of new products, plus helping marketing team, advertising team to set the right communication strategy so that the target audience, your end customers, can better connect with your brand. That is done from market research. Usually companies have just very few people in market research department, and then they outsource a majority of their work. Demetra is saying B2B is corporate sales. Yes, B2 in B2B business is primarily we work in corporate sales where we a business directly sells to a business. So we were talking about marketing and market research, then advertising. Advertising is um, that we are going to do today, and that we will discuss what is advertising. It's primarily improving visibility of your product and services to your target audience. It's engaging your target audience. And the third is corporate communication. Any communication of businesses that goes to external shareholders or even internal shareholders sometimes, right? So, giving any press release in the media, something happens in the company and you have to give a statement in the press. That is part of corporate communication. Almost newsletters, handling newsletters. Uh, Corporate communication is basically, uh, you know, communicating on the behalf of company. So whatever communication goes to external shareholders or external stakeholders from company is done through corporate communication so that a centralized masses goes to all the stakeholders. In this is such a vast department. In this all, we are going to do advertising right now. In other classes, if you ask for, if you require, we will cover other topics as well of this part, but primarily we will focus on advertising, and this is slightly technical part of advertising, so it may not be that interesting that our copywriting section used to be, but it will be um, kind of understanding the technical part, because you also need to improve your vocab, right? uh, the new terms that we see and what does that exactly mean. All right. So, yes, I think some new people have also joined in. So, Nitya, Suma, Anindita, and Nikshal. Good evening. Okay, now let's look at why advertising. I mean, the first question that I saw is why advertising. So look at this one, this figure. This is advertising and promotion budget of companies. Okay, I have just done research for. I did a lot of companies, but I just mentioned here for four companies, and all taken from different industries. Infosys is an IT company. Their advertising budget is 5% of their annual sales. That means for every 100 rupee that they earn, they spend 5 rupees in uh, in advertising. Okay, I will tell you the source also from where I have taken that. Yes, Vijay, good evening. HUL, Hindustan Unilever. We use a lot of products from HUL. All this many soaps, shampoo, lot of other product. They invest or spend 12% of their annual sales into advertising. All right. CL Educate. This is Career Launcher, which was started as a MBA entrance exam preparation coaching institute, but now it has become a listed organization. They spend 11% of their sales turnover or annual sales into advertising. Info is Info is from where Naukri.com, the company, uh, parent company is Info is, right? Naukri.com, Jeevan Sathi, 99 acres, right, is owned by Infois. They invest 16% of their annual sales revenue into advertising. How I have taken that data, that is also very interesting. If you want to learn any industry, you know, various insights about any industry, you can just go and look at the annual report of course it is a hard work, you need to do some hard work for that because you need to read that. But if you look at their annual report, you will get a very good industry perspective. They also talk about the industry, economy, and their strategy on how they are uh, covering this. Let's see one by one. Yes, Pratibha ma'am, good evening. So, all right. So for example, how I calculated this, I took it from annual report of Infosys, where they have given. Okay. This you will see. So I have taken this is their revenue, which is 90,000 crores, and this is in rupees crore, 90,000 crores, right? And this is their selling and marketing expenses, which is 4,711. So divide this. Simply, you have to calculate the percentage of 47 this selling and marketing expenses divided by 90,000. So you will get the percentage of sales that they invest in their advertising and promotion. Similarly, you will find annual report of all the listed companies, right? And you can go and check out how much do they invest, how much do they spend, where, and overall knowledge about the industry. So this is one useful resource where you can learn more about any particular industry. Okay, so that means on an average, companies invest anything between 5 to 15% of their sales in advertising and promotion. Growing companies tend to invest more in advertising and promotions. For example, Flipkart. Okay, it's a very new company, started in around 2003. If they have to grow their business, they have to invest a lot more than these companies. So, for instance, you will find I did not find the data about Flipkart because it's a private company, but even the according to some estimate a few years back, they invest there around 30. to 35% of their total turnover, their total revenue, into sales and marketing. So, whether you are a big company or a small company, you need to invest in marketing and promotion to grow continuously, to survive in the industry and grow your business. And the reason for that is even if you are a big company, your competitor is also big. If you are a startup, if you are just starting, then also you need to advertise to be there to so that people can find you, right? Some people look at advertising from a different perspective, like, uh, you know, because if you advertise a lot, it means there is some problem in the product or something. But it doesn't work that way. These days, irrespective of how good product you have, you need to be visible in front of your target audience, then only they will get to know. In any way, our attention span is so low that we don't remember what we saw yesterday or day before yesterday. And in that sense, we need to have a good visibility and communication strategy to be in front of your target audience and to engage them, right? um, so this is the importance of advertising, whether you are a big company, small company, startup, working as a freelancer, or working as a consultant. You've just started your digital marketing organization. It's very important to recognize the importance of advertising and do it in a systematic manner, right? Today, if I ask you what is your advertising budget, so you will say, I don't know, because you have no idea how to set a budget. But then you can find out how many. So, for instance, I'm just telling you, suppose if you want to earn 100 rupee in 1 year, which is very less, but just an example. So at least that means it gives a very clear picture that you need to invest at least 15 rupees in advertising to earn that 100 rupee, right? And even after spending those 15 rupees, it is not necessary that you will earn that 100, because advertising need not necessarily give positive outcome every time. That can be a waste also. That can be a kind of, you know. So, what will you do in that case? In that case, you will see that, okay, fine. If you have 15 rupee that you can just, even if it does not give you any return, it will not impact you financially. Then you will set a target of 100 rupee, that, okay, fine. Uh, I can, let's decide a target of 100 rupee because I have 15 rupee to invest into marketing. This is one way we also set our startups set their annual revenue target, or even freelancers. You should give get an idea of how much should you invest in marketing and advertising to grow your business, right? Advertising and promotion is an integral part of starting and growing a business. You cannot do away with that. Yes, there are some people who take advantage of this and they tend to be unethical in advertising. That will leave to audience to judge, decide for their own advantage, not to go by what advertisers say, right? So, but still, uh, only because some people do unethical things does not mean that entire industry is bad. So, so this is one part. The knowing the advertising budget of the top players in an industry helps you set the right budget and sales target for your startup. So if you know, so suppose you are a startup and you are not sure how much to invest in marketing and advertising, so you can just get started with knowing, doing your research and finding out what other players, the leading players, your competitors are investing. Maybe you can invest more than them or less than them, because large companies have their brand name also, and they get a lot of advantage because of their brand name. But think of a startup who does not have a brand name. They need to depend a lot in advertising to uh, to get more customers and to generate their revenue, right? Now, if we talk about the main objective of advertising, so it's like this is one product. Just think in a simple world. This is about okay. So Dev Mitra is saying because of corporate communication, business sustain for long span. Absolutely. This is how you will be sustain your business for the long run, because most of the businesses go for 10 years, 15 years, they go boost, right? So if you spend in sound communication strategy, you will sustain your business for long. If you think of main objective of advertising, you will see its product and um, a product. There will be a product or a service, an offering, and you will have a set of target audience who need that product, right? And the role that advertising play is through a media, because product cannot speak on its behalf. So you have to use a media where you can find your target audience and use that media to communicate your ideas, thoughts, features, benefits, whatever you say, to your audience, right? That is the simplest way. Now, um, one thing that I have heard and that I have also felt, that when it comes to advertising, especially people who work in service sector, like you were working as a freelance writer, freelance digital marketer, many times you tend to think that uh, self advertising, self promotion is kind of you don't feel very good about that, right? It seems like bragging. Can you tell me what is the best way to you can promote yourself now, since we have seen so far that advertising is important, you need to be visible to get more clients, to acquire more clients. What is the best way that you can self promote without sounding like you are bragging or like just you are talking about yourself? Can you give an example? Yes, Anil Bhargavi, good evening. Yeah. So I want an example where you need to suggest the best way to promote yourself without sounding like you are bragging. Social media, but Jara, yes, social media, that is okay, but how will you do that? Testimonials, this is one. Trigger word of mouth, absolutely, but that will take some time. How will you talk about yourself? That testimonial is one. Showcase your work, absolutely. Um, LinkedIn profile, right? Jitendra is saying by showing your sample work. Okay. Then Hina is saying share positive testimonials. Absolutely. Alina is saying by being various platforms and showcasing your work. All right. Um, Hina is saying share positive testimonials with customers. Okay. Promoting your work on a different social media. Again, blogging. All right. Advertorials. Absolutely. That is a very smart way of promoting that. One way, the basic way you have to think, that you keep yourself out of your service completely. So rather than you yourself are doing, because the moment you talk about the self promotion, the self thing, it will create a problem. The best way is focus on your services and its benefits for the clients. Do not um, go on yourself, what kind of qualities do you have or that you are going to promote yourself. Just focus on the services that you provide and the benefits of it for the client. So you will then um, testimonials, you will show testimonials, sample work, uh, right? Being there and writing advertorials, etc. But whenever you have to promote yourself, it's always better to focus on the services that you offer the most and its benefits for the clients. In that case, you will remove self from the picture and the focus will be the benefits and the value that the clients are getting and the money that they have to pay for the value, right? And of course, then these are the tools that you can use, like testimonials and sample work, portfolio, etc. These are the tools to showcase the, this is basically proof of your work, right? But always be focused on the services rather than about yourself, right? All right. Now, what are the guided steps to start advertising? Suppose you are a freelance marketer, you are a digital marketing consultant, and you are thinking to start advertising for your business. What are the first step do you will you take when you have to get started and advertise step by step? So these are the key steps of advertising. And this is the framework that you will be needing for anything. So, irrespective of whether you advertise on television, on social media, on Google, on Facebook, if you can understand these 6 steps, advertising becomes quite simple for you, right? So, for instance, the first thing is, and look at this. So, it's very simple and intuitive. There is nothing, no rocket science here. So one is, what is your marketing goal? So first you need to decide what exactly do you want to achieve, right? The second thing that you want to do is, who is your target audience? Whom do you want to show your communication, or who is going to pay you for this goal that you want to achieve, right? So this becomes your target audience. And third is, what is your marketing budget? How much are you willing to spend to communicate your message to your target audience? Fourth, where will you get the target audience? Right? Fifth, which creative would be most persuasive? Which type of message, text, image, etc., which will be the most persuasive in terms of convincing your prospective clients? And then sixth is, once you've decided all five, launch the campaign. Now, this is the simple process as you see. But if you go and study any marketing or advertising textbook, you will see a lot of terms that you have to use. Even you, as a writer, when you will write for your clients, you have to use these terms because these terms take a lot of guessing out of the things, and it talks precisely about um, a lot of activities. So you need to learn those terms and the accurate meaning of those terms. So now I will talk about the technical terms that we use for each of these steps and what is the meaning of it, how you will decide for your business. So the first one is set a marketing goal. Now, marketing goal, as you can decide that how will you decide a marketing goal? Okay, can can you tell me uh, can you give me some examples of marketing goal that you think is that could be the right example? Any example of marketing goal? Yes, I want any specific marketing goal that you think is uh, is the right goal, a marketing goal for anything. For suppose you are working as a writer, you can set a marketing goal for yourself. You are working as a digital marketer. What could be your marketing goal? Just tell me one thing. I don't want any technical terms. Simply tell something which is that you know. So Anil is saying, I want to sell budget shirts from home in pandemic scenario to customers at doorstep service. Shed light on that. Okay. Bhargavi is saying a sales increase. That is the marketing goal. Jara is saying awareness of my product service. Nikhil is saying conversion. Alina is saying increasing followers. Hina is saying brand building. Tanvi is saying brand name and quality of product. Mensch marketing is saying reach. Sweta, I believe, yes. Cynthia is saying number of sales. Alina is saying increased views on works. Um, okay. Surendra is saying new business in total sales and revenue, right? Okay. All right. Fitness goals like Nike. create a buzz about company services, number of customers in span of time. All right, let's see the right way of setting a marketing goal and the technicalities involved into it. And to understand that, the marketing goal, we need to understand the purchase journey, the customer journey, or understanding the sales funnel. Sometimes we also call it purchase journey. Now think of yourself. And by the way, this sales funnel, sometimes it is called purchase journey, buyer's journey. There are some one or two elements can be added, subtracted. A new company comes in and they add something new. But these are traditional, quite old, well accepted, widely accepted across the world. Something this is used understanding the sales funnel. Now that is a technical term, just note it down. And this is awareness, consideration, and action. Now think of yourself when you go and buy something, when you feel the need of buying something. The journey that we take is something like you will find that there are certain customers. Suppose I find the need of buying a mobile phone. So, first of all, I will be aware that, yeah, I need a mobile phone. I'm still not sure that I'm going to buy something, but I will just think that I I need a mobile phone. So or maybe I'm just interested in mobile phones, but still not very sure that I'm going to buy it. That is awareness, right? Consideration means when now I have decided, oh, I need a mobile phone now. That means now I'm in the process of doing a research so that I can now I will be start doing some research in terms of uh, finding out various mobile phones features. I will start comparing mobile phones and I will start looking at which is the best suitable for me in my budget. That stage is called consideration stage, where now you are in the process of comparing various products and services, finding out more vendors or sellers, and um, and then you are interested in this, right? Okay, Professor Ektensi is saying, how can I speak with you privately after the live session? What you can do is you can send your email ID over here, or maybe not in the live chat, in the comments when the session ends, and then I will contact you. Shivani is saying increase in customer. Okay, so consideration is something that we are comparing various products and services, right? Um, a product that I want, I am comparing that from various brands, and then comes action. Now, action is something when I go and buy the product, right? This is my journey of buying something. Remember that this is not applicable. This may not be applicable for all the products. Some products will always be out of this bracket, like impulse buying, things that we buy impulsively. We go on the shop and buy a chocolate. We had no need, we did not plan for it, but then we bought it. That is called impulse buying. We buy it out of impulse. Alcohol shop. We're just going to see you saw the alcohol, weather is good, go and buy that. Okay. Similarly, other things also, they are in the categories of impulse buying. You have a plan buy where you go through this process of awareness, consideration, and action. Remember these terms if you are in advertising or you are a writer, if you are writing for advertising, this is very helpful. As a writer, you always have to keep in mind on which stage of funnel you are targeting that customer. Okay? So, for example, the three ways could be I want more people to know about my offerings. That means I have launched something new and I want that more and more people should know about it. Whether they buy or not, that is not a concern right now. But I want to spread awareness so that more and more people know about my offerings. The second is consideration, where I want to invite people to visit my website, to watch my video, to download my brochure, to do something that is more engagement, that requires more engagement, so that people can evaluate my products and services. And the third one is that I want people to buy from my shop or buy my products and services. Now, we set a goal, marketing goal, based on the stage that we want to target, right? So, for example, in awareness, you reach to a broader audience, for example, targeting people who have read an article about your industry so that you can spread awareness, more and more people know about you. Consideration is you reach to people who are actively searching for the product and services that you offer. So if you will not reach out to them, so they will buy it from someone else because they are actively looking for the product and services. And action is when the audience is wants to buy the products from you. So how do we set a marketing goal? So when we set a marketing goal, scientifically we think that when which stage of the funnel we want to target, which stage of the funnel we want to get some measurable objectives. So for example, look at these marketing goals, examples of marketing goals. In awareness section where you want to increase awareness, your objective is just to increase awareness. You talk like, I want to show my ads to 10,000 people. Okay? Okay. That is reach. So that 10,000 people can see my ad. Awareness, another campaign is like awareness. I want 10,000 people to remember my brand. So just saying is one thing, remembering is another thing. Okay? So this is the kind of awareness marketing goals that you set. Usually when there is a new product launch, like new mobile phone launch, mass products, new car launch, you run an awareness campaign. All television, most of the TV ads are awareness campaigns, most of them, except when they run offers, sales, etc. They are awareness campaigns. Then consideration. You will see four types of consideration goals, like you want to increase your website traffic. So suppose you set a marketing goal that I want to have 1000 visits on my website. So then engagement. I want 2000 likes, comments and shares, combine all three, engagement on my social media post. Video views. I want 10,000 views on my video. And that 10,000, 5,000, the number that I'm speaking, that is a must. You need to set that clearly. That should be measurable. Okay? I want my mobile app to be installed by 10,000 people. That is consideration level goal at consideration stage. And then at action stage, you set a goal like I want to generate 10, 50 leads per day, 20 leads per day, or I want 5 customers to buy my services. So that is the goal related to action. At one point in time, remember one thing, your objective should be just either awareness or consideration or action. So when you are planning to launch an advertising campaign, your marketing goal should either relate to awareness or consideration or action, not all three together. Okay, so that is how you set a marketing goal. The example of marketing goal are these. And by the way, once you learn this, once you know this, go on any platform. This is exactly the same marketing goals that you will find across platforms, whether you are going to use social media, Google ads, Facebook ads, any marketing ads. Okay, even in case of television rating, TV audience measurement, that we see the TRP, on which channel is getting the maximum viewership. How do we measure that? We measure that in terms of impressions. How many impressions? We will just talk about that later on. How many impressions each view channel is getting. And these are the number of impressions. You can find it in barkindia.co.in. We will talk about it in a while. Okay. Now, can you answer this question? As a writer or a digital marketing consultant, which goals would be the most suitable for your business? Suppose you are a writer or freelance writer, or you offer writing services, or a digital marketing consultant. Can you tell me which marketing goals should you keep out of these? Which one of these will you keep for yourself if you want to run an advertising campaign. So you are running the advertising campaign to get more customers. Remember that, because or it's entirely up to you on why you are running that campaign. But yeah, think of it as you were really going to create it. Just do not just give a generic answer. Think of it of when you are starting as a writer, awareness and consideration. Shami, tell the exact example of awareness. Which one out of awareness and which one out of consideration? Repeated orders. Okay, awareness. First and second one. Awareness, consideration. Jitendra, you are focused on action. That is a good thing that you just won't purchase. But I will just talk about it. Uh, Awareness, consideration. Okay. But see, even if awareness has two, consideration has three, four goals, which one out of those will you take? Website trafficking, not trafficking, it's traffic. So, website traffic is the right word, Krupa. Nice to see you here. So, one is website traffic. If you are more serious about getting business as a writer or a digital marketing consultant, then you will focus on just two things: lead generation and action. Okay, you will not go into awareness because you do not have adequate money to spend so much in just creating awareness. Remember this: awareness requires a lot of budget because your objective is just people know that you are a writer. But the problem with that is, okay, Anil is saying creating a demand through awareness. But do you really think that you have that much budget to invest? This is in fact, most common mistakes that initial writers, matlab, new writers tend to make. Uh, yes, Devendra, I understand knowing you as a writer, but then that is not sufficient. I'm telling you that this is, one of the most common mistakes that a lot of writers or digital marketing consultants make. They create a Facebook page and they start thinking of getting more likes and all. The problem with that is that is more, it is done more for awareness and all. You have to get into action and focus on lead generation so that people who are interested, who are actively looking for writing services, they get to know you. Okay, they reach you, they know you when they are searching for a writer. Okay, if you are not available there, they will hire somebody else to do that work. And similarly, action, when somebody is actually going to pay you that, okay, fine, finally I need that work, so I need it today, immediately. So Nanda is asking, shouldn't be ad be like, I want them to be aware and consider my product to take the action of buying it? Um, okay, see, what happens is that there are two things that should be aware. That is a very relevant question. That shouldn't it be like that people first be aware and then um, uh, consider my products? So Sunanda, think of it in two ways. One is being aware. Imagine the intent that you have, okay, an intent of the people. Think of intent. One is that people know you that you are a writer, right? Another intent is I'm actively searching for the writer. And that become the consideration stage where I'm actively searching. And your job as a writer is when I'm searching only focus those audience because the chances of conversion will increase. Otherwise, what will happen that there are a lot of people who are just could be aware that okay, you are a writer, but their intent is not to buy something right now, or their intent is not to search for somebody because they do not have a need immediately. They might have a need sometimes in the future, but they don't have the need immediately. Now, within the limited budget that you have, you will only try to focus your ads to those people who will, um, and I will talk about it once again where it will make a difference. Since you have a limited budget, you will only focus on those people who are actively looking for your products and services, the writing services, so that you can focus your energy in getting more clients, converting them through your sales pitch, and then once you will convert, that will become an action, that is final conversion, and then you will focus on uh, delivering that service. Yes, Jitendra, that is a fantastic question. How you can you generate a lead? That I will talk about it. So Nanda, is that clear? So that is the thing that okay, it is good to first make them aware and then let them consider my products. But the question here is that uh, why not to just concentrate on people who are actively looking for it, so that you can just show your ad there, and since they are looking for it, they will consider you, they will maybe talk to you, they will visit your website, and then they will take it further. And and then I will talk about it on how does it create a difference. Okay, now let's decide the target audience. So once you have decided that okay fine, suppose you want more leads and or you want more conversion, then Jitendra asked one question that okay, tell me how can I generate leads. Now there we will reach there, but before that, uh, a few things, a few more things needs to be done. How? So deciding the target audience. Um, how do you decide the target audience? So now that is a term. Target audience is, you can say, as your customers, right? Very easy to say. It's customers who are looking for content writing services, for example. But here I am going to tell you that uh, okay, think of it slight technically. So one is, there is a term called buyer persona, because thinking as a customer, there could be 10 customers, 10 could be from 10 different backgrounds, all 10 customers are there. uh, when you have to plan your marketing, your advertising, okay, before that I will answer a question from Anil. He's saying that should we go for local and not brand marketing? Anil, I am saying that you can go for, yes, you should not go for branding right now. Rather go on, focus on people who are looking for the services, and I will just talk about it. So, okay, Pratibha is saying, I think with digital media, rules of advertising have changed, and so we focus on segmentation and targeting marketing. Absolutely, Pratibha ma'am, you are absolutely right. In the time of television, mostly we focused on awareness and branding and all, because that time you did not have much data so that you can segment based on people intention, right? But today we have the data. We know that if somebody is, what is the intention of the people? Today we have so much data that we know that this person is going to get married, this person is going to get be pregnant also, or maybe she's going to have a child 1 or 2 months down the line. So we start showcasing the product which is related to for a newborn baby, or for a new mother. So somebody owns a car or not. So we have that data, and that is the advantage that we take, and that is what it is important to understand, that we have that data. We have to use that data. It is just that we don't have the information, and that is why we think that so much of targeting is not possible because this world is so huge. So you are absolutely correct. Okay, now let's see the target audience, creating a buyer persona. In this particular case, we are saying that this is buyer persona is basically you create a semi-fictional character that defines your ideal customer. Okay, the buyer persona is your target audience. Some of the key things that you can include in buyer's persona is demographics, occupation of the target audience, live events. It is not live events, it is live events. So it will be live events, and their interests. So, for example, Here I will say that as a writer, my target audience could be an entrepreneur who might have worked in the industry for 5, 10, 15 years, and now they are planning to start their business, right? They are now looking for a content writer who can write content for their website. Or you are saying that your target or your buyer persona could be a 55-year-old man who is running a small business, trying to grow his business and using digital media, but do not know about blogging, advertising, and all. And they are looking for somebody who can create content for them so that they can grow um, their website digitally, they can get more traffic, etc. So you visualize your target audience, right? For instance, if I have to write a blog, if I have to write, I'm talking about ECT, uh, web page content or blog, then I keep you in mind and you become the buyer persona, right? Buyer persona could be of different type. It is not necessary that you will just create one buyer persona. You will create multiple buyer persona, and for each buyer persona, you will have something for them so that they can relate to you, right? So um, you may have three types of buyer persona. For example, we took content writing services. One is entrepreneurs who are going to start their business. Second is already established small businesses. Third could be students also who want to outsource their writing assignments, for instance. So that become your buyer persona. So you create various buyer persona and then you develop content, creative, etc. to meet the target audience, to grab their attention so that they can relate with the your communication and they can find that okay, you are talking to them, it is meant for them, because that personalization is also has become very important. So let's understand this one. Can you just create a buyer persona for your content writing services business? Suppose you are working as a content writer, you have a content writing services business. Can you create a buyer persona for your business? So think of it that you are going to start a business, and if you have to create a buyer persona, which all elements will you include in that? Because the targeting will be done to those buyer persona, to that specific set of audience, and not to others. Okay, for different type of audiences, we do create different type of communication strategy. Yes. So think of it, creating a buyer persona, and the services is content writing services business. Why I have kept content writing services is because all of you know that all of you might have a plan to generate leads and all, right? So yes. Any idea? Buyer persona. Just to give you, you can keep these elements into the picture: demographics, occupation, life events, interests, and based on that, you can create a buyer persona. Yes. So why buyer persona is semi-fictional, not actual? It is semi-fictional because you try to generalize things. So if you take actual, then every customer becomes very different, and for each and individual customers, it's very difficult. So what you do is you group two or three or four types of customers together, and then you try to generalize, putting something generic in a group, so that because for every customer, suppose you have 5,000 customers, creating 5,000 different types of communication will be very difficult. So you try to segment them: 1,000 from one bracket, 1,000 from one bracket, and you keep a five bracket, so that you can create a campaign in such a way that those 1000 people for which you have created one set of campaign can communicate with you, can have a direct conversation, can connect with your ads. So, some kind of industry services providers, yes, need of the persona by the client, okay. Web media person, right. Let's see one example of this. So, this is the specific way of creating a buyer persona. So, occupation entrepreneur just started the business, okay, they're serious about the business. Age is 25. It is basically a generalized definition of a set of target audience. Absolutely. Age is 25 to 40. Gender male. It could be female also for different, but we will create a different buyer persona for that. Education, I've taken just MBA. You can take any other education also. Because somebody who buys content, they are actually well read. Okay. Uh, Not everybody understands the quality, the value of a good content. So I've taken that. Location Mumbai. And some more description about left a well paid job to start his business. Um, Now looking for a website content writer who can express his thoughts and vision to the target audience. So that is, I have created a set of buyer persona, and then we created this thing. Now we will create a communication strategy. Maybe we will write a blog, or maybe whatever we will do that is written for them, and we will target precisely for those kind of audience, okay, using various tools. So what will happen, they will be able to relate to our communication, and your chances of conversion will go higher. You will get more leads, you will tend to generate more leads. Okay, there is another way of defining also the target audience. The other way of defining it, that somebody who is searching for Google. So for example, if you go on Google and somebody who's searching for content writing agency, for instance, is also my target audience, right? So what I will do is, okay, somebody is searching for these keywords or some other keywords also, they are our target audience. So there are buyer personas. So there are different ways of doing it. This I've written answer may vary. I have just created one, and you can create other buyer persona. Usually a business can have multiple buyer persona, and they will create a specific communication strategy for each buyer persona for each set of target audience. Right? Now, once you decide the target audience, okay, once you have done that, the next thing that you need to do, okay, and by the way, if you're feeling that like who will be your and you're not sure that uh, since you are a beginner and you do not have the client base, so you are not sure that who will buy your services. So the best way is, think of what keyword people will be searching on Google, and think your buyer persona in that way. My buyer persona for my business is somebody who's looking for content writing services, content writing agency, website content writer, freelance content writer on Google. But just have the list of the keywords that you think that your target audience will be searching on Google, right? We will talk about it once again when we will go forward. Once you have decided the target audience, then, um, by the way, there could be different target audience. So it is not just about content writing services. Suppose you write business plan also. So you can think of that somebody who is searching for business plan writer on Google or business plan writing services on Google. They could be your target audience, right? So, okay, so there are different types. I hope, Jitinder, that is clear and that is clear to all of you. Now, next is that now it's you have to decide the marketing budget that you are willing to spend to get more clients. That is where I see a lot of disconnect between what people want and what they deserve, or how much they can spend, how much they can take a risk. Okay? So there we have this, like, how do you decide a marketing budget? So there are four ways mainly people do it. One is experimental. So it's hit and trial for the first few months. And this is what a lot of people tend to do. Okay. So it's like, okay, let's start with 10,000 rupee a month. We will run a campaign for 1 month, and then we will see on how it goes, and based on that we will decide the budget for next month. This is what a majority of people do. Okay. Not big companies and not established marketers don't do it. It is a beginner's experimental hit and try. The second is based on the capacity. So I just have 1 lakh rupees, and for that I have to do everything. Out of that, I can spend just 10,000 rupees to create the ad. I don't have more than that budget. Because in marketing budget, you have to remember one thing, that the marketing budget that you are spending, it can go entirely waste. It can go entirely waste, even in digital media. In any media, marketing budget can go entirely waste. And the reason is not just um, okay. I hope the sound should be there now. Okay, the reason would be because yes, they do not know. So based on capacity to pay, so you have suppose 1 lakh rupees and you have to invest in a lot of other things. And you say I just have 5,000 or 10,000 rupee, and I cannot invest more than that. So that is one, because you have other liabilities also. The third one is based on the industry research. So the research that we saw here, that we decided that okay, fine, this is the leading industries that they are spending. So suppose in your industry, people are spending maybe 10% of their revenue, okay, and you want to earn 2 lakh rupees. So you think that okay, if I should set a budget of 20,000 and then see whether I'm earning that 2 lakh rupees or not, because the industry is at 10%. Industry is spending at 10%. So in that case, so that could be one, right? So it's like industry research and based on the sales target. That if you have the sales target of 5 lakh rupees, then you decide that okay, on an average 15% of that sales target we will spend on advertising, right? So this is how you decide a marketing budget, keeping in mind that it can entirely go waste. So if it is going waste, you should not come on road. You should be there, stable, financially stable, and it is just a business risk. Okay. Um, Now suppose leading players in your industry spend 15% of their annual revenue on advertising. What should be your advertising budget if you intend to achieve a revenue of rupees 1 lakh per month? Can you answer this question? That in your industry, leading players spend 15% of their annual revenue on advertising. So if you have to generate a business of 1 lakh rupees per month, how much should you decide the marketing budget? What should be your marketing budget? Yes. Traditionally, a 2% ROI was considered good enough, but digital media has changed the definition of ROI unconventional media. Absolutely, yes, that has changed now. More than 15%, 15K. Okay, so see, leading players, if they are spending 15%, then at least, I'm not written the answer because there could be multiple answers, but at least 15K is what is needed, because if the leading players who already have a brand name if they are investing that much, so you will be investing more than 15K as a beginner to get that same amount of revenue, right? Uh, yes. So this is not 10%. If you will reduce, then it will not help. It is more than that. Absolutely, Jitendra. Yes, you have to compete with leading players, right? So 15K or more. That should be ideally. This is how you should get started. So whenever you have to set a budget, keep this statistics in mind. This just gives you a starter. You can keep 5,000 also, 10,000 also. That is okay, but you may not get the optimum results. And if you really want to know about how much industry players are doing, just go look at the annual report of any company in your industry. You'll get a fair idea, right? Okay, 5K in first hit and trial based on capacity up to 15K. That is also nice. You can try hit and trial, keep hit and trial, and then see whether it is working or not. Remember one thing also, that sometimes keeping a low budget will not deliver the results. So that is also important. Okay, so if you have to generate a revenue of 1 lakh, then you should begin with 15 or plus more than that. So that even if you do not get a revenue of 1 lakh, even if 70,000, 75,000, then at least you have something, a base to start with. Otherwise, if you will just keep 5,000, so there could be a possibility that in 5,000 even you will not get 10,000 worth business, because the marketing budget will be too low because of the intense competition. Because 15% advertising budget also denotes that there is a huge competition in advertising space, and that is why so much of money. Okay, then the fourth one, where will you get your target audience? So we were talking about how much money, who is the target audience. Now the question is, where we will get those audiences? Where are they? So for that, we call a technical term which is media mix. Okay, media mix is the combination of all the media where you will get your target audience. Okay, um, so now, Jitendra, you had asked a question that from where we will get our target or lead generation. Here you will get the answer that you have to decide a media mix. Also, Sunanda, you had asked a question about awareness and consideration. Now, answer belong again here. If we give two options of, you know, awareness and creating a consideration, creating a campaign for targeting customers who are at a consideration stage, that will also define which target audience you are taking, which platform, which media mix you are choosing. Common digital marketing ad platforms are Google, and Google is demand based advertising. It is a high conversion rate. When I'm saying demand based advertising means, demand based advertising means when I was looking for content writing agency, then only I saw ads of these four companies. Okay, including my company also where it is coming. So, um, so that is demand based. TV is supply based. Television or any traditional media is completely supply based. You watch television to for some program for entertainment, and then ads are shown to you, right? But Google has a very different model, and that is why it became such a big company so quickly. In my knowledge, it was the first company that introduced demand based advertising. Prior to that, there was a push marketing. On television, you just television like advertising. People read news, you push ads there. But in case of Google, you see the results of the ads, or you see the ads only when uh, people are searching for the product and services that you offer, right? So I'm searching for content writing agency, and these four companies are showing their ads because they offer the the services of content writing. And this is one way you have this demand based advertising. And when somebody is searching for content writing agency, this is because they are into consideration stage. They are not just at awareness stage. And this is, Sunanda, one key difference. If I have to run a campaign for awareness stage, I will go and target people on Facebook, because I will it will be much cheaper to target a lot of people on Facebook. Okay, because on Facebook we don't go to search for a particular product or a service, right? So for example, TikTok ad is on the right hand side, it is showing to me. This is more traffic plus more conversion. These are supply based ads. Okay, though Facebook also has those awareness, consideration, or action, but just to give you an idea that uh, if you are considering, if you have just started and you have a limited budget and you have to target people who are actively looking for your services, you will begin with Google and not with Facebook advertising, right? Because the intent of buying is much higher on Google as compared to Facebook. So if 10 people approaches you through Google, when they found you on Google, out of 10, 1 or 2 will get converted. But if they found you on Facebook and if they approach you on Facebook, there could be a possibility that not as many will get interested, not even just 1 out of 10, right? Or maybe they will have a very low budget. So that is where you will see a very high conversion rate of Google. And this is Jitendra, here your question will also be answered, that you have to find the leads through Google Ads, right? If you have to run an ad, and it is the best way to generate leads for intent based, those who have the intent. By the way, if you learn digital marketing, Google Ads has even a segment that will tell you that these people are actually interested in buying, not just doing research, but buying the services, right? Targeting them is actually expensive, but then you get more conversions and more leads. So, here again, you have to decide based on your goals that you have set, marketing goal, awareness, consideration, or action, based on your target audience, based on your marketing budget, you will decide the media mix. Which media are you going to target? So, Google is demand based advertising, high conversion rate. Facebook, Instagram is interest based advertising. Facebook ads, they will target you based on the ads, that the pages that you've liked, interactions that you would have done, right? The article that you have read based on that. So this is interest based advertising. And LinkedIn, as you know, is targets a professional audience. So this is how you will decide a media mix. Okay. Now, can you decide a media mix for your writing services business? Yes, Jitendra, now it's your turn to answer a question on how can you generate leads for your writing services business, right? And if you really want to try this, and if you have 5,000 rupee, you can just to give you an idea, uh, Google, once you create a new account on Google, it gives you 2,000 rupee. Once you pay them 500 rupee, they give you 2,000 rupee as a ad budget. Okay, so even if you just pay 500, uh, you will have 2,000 rupee more given by Google coupon. So you will have a total of 2,500 rupee, right? And in 2,500 rupee, you can create ads to see whether you are getting leads or not. So, okay, what is the answer of this? Decide a media mix for your writing services business. Yes. Those who are willing to run any Google ads just to learn to see how does it work, please get in touch with me. I will help you with that. But just in this particular case, yes, what is the answer? Cynthia is saying Google and LinkedIn. Um, okay, that's Very smart. What else? Any other answer apart from this? Google and LinkedIn. Okay, I think Google. Xiaomi is saying Google. Okay. Yes, so we have got more or less a clear answer because see on Facebook it will not be a good option. In any case, Facebook is better for B2C audiences, right? There are services offered from agencies like Just Dial or Sulekha. How can we choose one for advertising? Rashmi is saying Google. Yes, Arun, Google. Nikshel, if your meaning is Just Dial and all, look at this. That is the beauty of Google. I mean, there are a lot of other companies, Just Dial, and you're right, they also offer services, but that is okay. Just Dial will be one of them. And your services will also come, your competitor services will also come. It depends on what kind of content that you write, the creative that we are going to study. Based on that, people will click on those ads and contact you, right? So Google is will be the most suitable platform. Apart from that, if you wish, you can also go and have LinkedIn. Now, suppose you are a writer and you want to start your lead generation campaign. You will begin with Google. Maybe if you set a target budget of 5,000 and any ad platform requires at least 1 month or 2 months because leads also take time to convert. This is a B2B business where um, why should we add on Google? Jitendra, why should we add on Google means we should give ad on Google because when people are searching for you, you your ad will come on the top and people will find you, they will contact you, they will generate ads. If you think of Just Dial and all, they are local services, you can target Just Dial as well. But remember one thing, even on Just Dial, a lot of people get to know Just Dial through Google only. So somebody is searching on Google something, they go to Just Dial or India Mart or these kind of services, and then from those they go to Just Dial, right? So that is one reason why do you have to pay a mediator for that? Why don't you directly pay Google and show your ads rather than paying a mediator like Just Dial and all? Plus, the services of leads that you get from Just Dial is from very different kind of a segment. And Just Dial is a fantastic platform. So for example, if you want your AC to be repaired, those kind of plumber, those kind of services you can advertise in Just Dial. Just Dial is good for that, right? So Google is will be the best one, and the second best would be LinkedIn. So you will begin your ads on LinkedIn. You can just start a budget, giving a budget of 2,000, 2,500, and you can see the results if you ever decide to do that advertising. Of course, at a risk that you will have to run the campaign for at least 2 months and that budget might go waste. Though there is a low chances of that, but it might go waste. And why 2 months? Why not just 1 month to see? Because people take their own sweet time to decide to hire writers or for any industry. Second thing is many a times you will also learn various things on how to deal with the clients, right? How to pitch, how to price, how to quote, and then you will get a better sense, better experience. Then the fifth step was deciding the creative. So now, yes, Google is the best option. Just Dial is not for all types of services, it is just for some types of services. Then, deciding the creatives. Step 5 is deciding the creatives now. Creative in the sense the text, the final creative which is seen by the user. So, here that you were saying, we just saw these text ads. Okay, nothing more than that. Though a lot of back end work has been done, but the creatives are for the end users. This is what end users will see, and therefore we invest That is the moment of truth. If you remember, in one of the episodes we had discussed about, in the last episode 34th, something called moment of truth. So here, this is the moment of truth. So by knowing your services, this is what will be visible to your readers, and this is how your readers will perceive about your brand or decide to whether click or not to click. So these are creatives, and you decide creatives based on text. Blog is the same thing, the combination of text and image, video. This is something which is vis- visible to your audience. Okay. Then it depends on media mix. So text that we write, we follow copywriting style, persuasive writing style, because even one or two line text, it should be follow all the rules of copywriting, because it's primarily the objective is to get action. So copywriting. Images should be relatable to your buyer persona. Okay, so one campaign can have 4 5 images targeted towards each buyer persona. Blog is written and promoted to offer educational content. Okay, you write a blog and then you promote that so that more and more people can read. You have to educate somebody about your buyer persona, your target audience about something. Then you write educational content, blog, and you promote that. Video, video is to show the proof of something. It's like showing the evidence. Okay, so you use video. It is quite convincing as well, because convincing in the sense, if the product is good, so it will convince. If the product is not good, then also it is fine. I mean, people may decide whether they like it or not, but the quality of leads are very good from videos, especially because people look at the evidence and then they contact you. And the best strategy is to use a combination of creatives depending on media mix, target audience, and your marketing goal. For instance, if you use Google Ads, search ads, Google have various types of ads: search ads, display ads, video ads, etc. Here only text will appear, right? In case of if you decide to go for Facebook, so you will see that it has both. Um, it has, so for example, this is TikTok ad. So this is an image creative as well as the text, a combination of both. The text anywhere, either in here, either in image or in the text or in the headline, we use the concept of copywriting style here. Okay, and videos you can use either on YouTube or on Facebook. And the best strategy is to, if you have the budget, then try doing it on multiple options. If you don't have the budget, it's best to go with the text ads on Google. You don't have to do much. You don't have to worry about designing part, hiring somebody else. And at the same time, we'll be getting the leads also. Then next part is launching the campaign. So now if you've done so much, launching the campaign is quite easy. You've decided the platform, you've decided the creatives, everything is decided now. You can launch the campaign with multiple ads. Okay. Launch campaign on individual platforms like Facebook, Google, then monitor the campaign on a weekly basis, make necessary changes if needed, okay, and experiment with media mix, creatives, etc. So advertising is something that is continuous, that is constant. You cannot just have one excellent campaign and relax. You can keep experimenting, because that will be the best learning part. The more you will do, uh, more you will learn, right? So that is experimenting, and trying, taking some risks also in terms of setting a target audience, in terms of reaching out to a particular audience, in terms of, and by the way, the more specific target audience you will make, the better result you will get. As specific as you can be, you will get best results. What type of best results? So you will have minimum budget, you will invest very low amount, you will get the very much interested users, and also your efforts will also be minimized. So you have to try to become as specific as possible. Finally, there are how to know the changes needed or not. Okay, so Jitendra, when you will do this campaign, when you will launch the campaign, for example, on Google Ads, so or on Facebook, so these tools give you specific insights, very precise insights about who clicked the ad, right? So, for example, in terms of Google, they tell you that what term Google, what term here user searched, where your ad appeared, and then where they clicked. So, which keyword triggered the ad? When did you get the click? Whether that click was converted or not, why it was not converted. You know all these um, data, and if you tend to think that suppose someone searched for uh, free content writing services and still your ad showed, then you have to make sure the next time when somebody is searching for free content writing services, your ad does not appear so that only relevant people will click. This is one. The second is you can also decide that if somebody is visiting some of the websites, so your ads can appear on top. If suppose you are not getting much clicks because your ads are getting low rank, so maybe your ads are not exhausting the entire budget. It means they are not running up to the potential. So these kind of things you will tell you, the insights from those studies will tell you whether you should, what kind of changes you should make, right? When we will do individual platforms someday, day will be quite longer because we have to cover a few things. We will tell you that. I will tell you that. Sunanda is saying there has been a lot of controversies around TikTok. Is it a solid medium that can be used? Sunanda, there is a lot of controversies. That controversy is unnecessary, unfortunately, because the controversy is not related to platform as such. It's because of its Chinese origin, and somehow a kind of a hatred has been developed uh, towards a, towards China because of the pandemic and a lot of other things. And then someone had a video that uninstall Chinese apps, uninstall Chinese goods, do not buy Chinese goods. This is just self satisfying dreams, nothing more than that. Because the platform has the promise. Um, if you stop Chinese ads, just to give you a data, India, China has just 2% of their export in India. Rest 98% they export to other part of the world who does not bother about China much. But we import a lot of our GDP from China. So it is not going to stop anywhere. As far as TikTok ads are concerned, TikTok as a platform is really sound. Okay, it will shine in the future. This controversy will die its own natural death, but that because it's a short video platform, and it's a good platform, but not right now for services like content writing services or for B2B. It is more for B2C. If you are selling shoes, lipstick, any items which is related to, for example, gaming, mobile gaming, for B2C, it still holds a lot of promise. Jiten saying the Google Guide suggests about the changes to be made automatically or it has to be checked on your own. Jitendra, it has both. Google also has an automated system that tells you that system is performing good or bad, but it is just relevant for a few things. 25% help you will get from Google automated system. 75% of the work you need to do on your own in terms of dealing with those changes, right? on the kind of improvement that you have to make. So, okay, Nancy, you are coming now when the things have ended almost at the end. Now, in the last 5-10 minutes has left, and we will just cover the common terms which is used in digital advertising. So these are the terms though I will be explaining that in a later video. I will create short videos and upload them on YouTube. But just to give you, since we are studying digital advertising, so we'll talk about it quickly. So these are some of the terms that you will see quite frequently, and many people do not understand these terms properly. So let me take you one quickly through these terms. The first is impressions. Impressions means the number of times any ad just appeared. Okay. So whether you saw that someone saw that ad is not that does not matter. If the ad appeared, it becomes an impression. So for instance, uh, see these four ads have just appeared. So these are four appearances. Each ad will get one impression. Similarly, if you go come down, there will be there were some three ads over here as well. But in the first instance, we did not scroll down to see these ads. But since they appeared, whether I see or not, that is none of their concern. If the ads appeared, it will be counted as one impression. So for this ad, it has one impression. This also, all of them have one impressions, one impression each. So similarly, number of times an ad appears, that is called the impression. This is where I was also showing you even TV audience, and um, traditionally these uh, you know television ads and all. Yeah, hi Bhaskar, good to see you right now. Okay. um, so these traditionally TV audience was also measured, and even today you will see in terms of impressions. Okay, impressions are usually counted for branding purposes, for more of a awareness, that more times an ad appears, it will get more visibility. Okay. And on television you cannot measure anything other than impressions, right? So we talk about impressions. So impressions. Reach is now slightly more precise. Number of times people have seen your ad. Okay. So ads got 10 impressions, but only it was 5 times that it got noticed. So reach will be 5. Clicks means when you click on the ad. Okay. So maybe out of 5 times it was seen, just one time it was clicked. So it will be one click. Then you have click through rate. So that is of ratio of clicks divided by impressions. That out of how many impressions, out of 100 impressions, how many clicks did you get? So if click through rate is 5%, that means out of every 100 impressions, you got 5 clicks. These are the matrices which is used to measure effectiveness of a campaign. If your click-through rate is very low, that means you need to change your creative and you have to make your text more relevant, right? Because that is why it is not getting clicked, because users are not finding it relevant. Yes, Jitendra, absolutely. Reach will be less than or equal to impressions, because not every impression will be seen by the people. So clicks, the number of times the ads were clicked. Click through rate, I just told you out of 100 impressions, how many clicks you are getting. Low click through rate means uh, you need to work on your creatives. Then customer actions. See, your customers will take certain actions on the website, right? But there are certain actions which are really important, like they are making a phone call to you, they are filling up your inquiry form, they are visiting your store. These are important customer actions. We always measure those actions. For example, malls will measure how many footfalls are there, how many people visited the store. These important customer sections are an indication of how much revenue you may generate in the coming future. Convergence, number of people, important customer actions. So if there were 10 calls or maybe 10 people bought, that means 10 conversions. Um, Devmitra is saying difference between reach and click. Okay, Devmitra. So for example, suppose I was searching here, okay, and then four ads, each of those ads had one reach, okay. But if I click this one, okay, only this ad will get click. Remaining these four will still not have any clicks. These will have just reach or impressions. Clicks will only when the user engages and click on the item. That becomes click, right? Yes, Jitendra, you are absolutely right. Number instead of impression out of number of reach, how many ads clicked should be the criteria because impressions also consists unseen ads. Absolutely, Jitendra. Then clicks are the major thing because how many clicks did you get? And most of these ads, you have to pay only on the clicks. That is why they are also called pay per click ads because you click only when the advertisers pay only when someone clicks on those ads. That is why it is called pay per click ads. Bhaskar is saying the formula displayed here is the percentage of ROI. Yes, Bhaskar. Yes, we had studied that. Yes. Right. So these are clicks. Clicks, right? Devmitra, is that clear? So reach is I just saw the ad, but clicks is when I engaged with the ad by clicking on it. Again, Sarbani is saying difference between impression and reach. So Sarbani, I just explained this that impression is something that ads just appeared. Reach is when you have seen that appearance. So for example, in this particular case, these four ads got just impressions. But these were just got impressions, not reach because I had not scrolled down to that level, right? But they will see the reach, their reach will increase only when I have scrolled down and I have seen those ads. So impressions are the number of times the ads appeared, and reach is number of people who have seen the ad, number of times they were seen. Reach is when we just search. No, on Devmitra, it is also on Facebook. So, for example, suppose I'm scrolling down and I did not see any ad. So that will, but ad appeared in appearance, okay, impressions. But if I just pause for a moment, I just saw the ad, it means it becomes the reach, okay. So reach is when we see the ad. Impressions is the ads appeared, whether I saw or not, that does not matter. And just your Facebook campaign, you will see whenever there will be an ad, it will not scroll up because Facebook wants to show you the ad before you scroll down or scroll up, okay, so that it can charge you and or they can show that more people have seen the ad just to increase the reach. Just try it down. Just scroll down your Facebook app sometimes later on and you will see that on your desktop, by the way. Convergence, number of important customer actions that people have taken. Conversion rate is again ratio of clicks and conversion. So out of 10 clicks, out of 100 clicks, how many conversions were there? That is called conversion rate. So if the conversion rate is 10%, that means out of 100 clicks, 10 people did some important customer action like either they made a call, they visited your shop or store, or they filled your inquiry form, or even they bought something from you. So that becomes conversion rate. Then return on investment, overall benefits of investment, you know that, right? ROI is the mother of everything that we do. If you are investing somewhere 100 rupee, you want 110 rupee, then only you will invest 100 rupee, right? So the benefit that you are getting out of every 100 rupee is called ROI. So if ROI is 10%, it means that every 100 rupee that you invested, you got a return, a total return of 110, or a net return of 10 rupee. So that is return on investment. In marketing, we call that as long as our ROI, return on investment, is higher, we can invest in marketing, isn't it? So if you have 100 rupee, if you invest 10,000 rupee, and if your ROI is 10%, you will get 1,000 rupee, which is fine. So as long as ROI is positive, you can invest in marketing because you simply have to sell the product. You already have the product. The formula for this is current value of investment minus the total cost that you've invested divided by the cost of investment. This is just a mathematical formula to calculate ROI. Can you just quickly calculate this and then we will end the session? Can you try this? Impression, suppose, is 10,000 and clicks you got is 120. Conversion is 15 for an advertising campaign. So can you calculate these click-through rate? What will be the click-through rate of that campaign? And what will be the conversion rate for that campaign? So try and calculating this one. It's yes. So it's primarily the impressions that is showing here in question. This is the final question that we have to do. After that, we will end the session now. The impression is 10,000. Clicks is 120. We got, the ads appeared 10,000 times. We got 120 clicks. And out of 120 clicks, 14 people converted. 15 people got converted. Right? So what will be the click-through rate and what will be the conversion rate? It's a simple mathematics, but then it is a mathematics. And when you will run your campaign, you will see that when you get up in the morning, once you become a digital marketer, once you start your advertising campaign, once you start running your campaign, you will see that you get up in the morning and first thing that you see, what is the click-through rate? What is the conversion rate? Because accordingly, you will change the campaign and all. Okay. So any idea before I tell you the answer for this? It's a simple mathematical calculation. Yeah. Okay, so the final answer is click-through rate is 1.2%, which was, we divided that 120 by 10,000, and conversion rate was 12.5%, that we converted 15 by 120, that becomes the conversion rate, right? So this is the answer for that. If you need more practice questions on this, do let me know. And with this, we will end the session now. Please tell me if you have any questions. I'm here to answer your questions now. Yes. So, all right, we have ended the session now. If you have any questions, please tell me. Okay, you are right. Yes, 15 by 120. So important customer actions, Jitendra, conversion is any important customer action. So the important customer action that we can take is, it could be like, so what important customer actions you can take that your customers can take that will contribute to revenue. So for example, suppose somebody is making a call, or somebody is filling the inquiry form. So these are part of uh, important customer action, and we call it as a conversion. Somebody filled the inquiry form, give us a call, give their contact detail to you, visited the store. These are called important customer actions which contribute to conversion. Yes. Anything else? So yes, Devmitra, please drop me an email. And also, I request all of you to please like this video. Yes, and also share it with your on your social media so that we can get more visibility. Do recommend us also as well. Yeah, and thank you very much. I hope you liked it, and we will meet once again on Thursday, 8 p.m. And if any one of you want to cover a particular question, or if you want to write something and you want me to evaluate live on YouTube, feel free to contribute. We will do that. We will that as well, right? Sarvani, if you want to, thank you very much, Tanvi. Thank you. Uh, Thanks, Jitendra. Tanvi, if you want to hear this, sorry, Sarvani, if you want to hear this, just the link that you have that was sent to you on your WhatsApp, just keep open that link. It will be visible there, right? Okay. If you want to mail me, just do it on this ask@ect.co.in. This is my email ID. You can mail me at any point in time. Okay. Young Fight by Cycle Rider. Okay, thank you very much. Thanks, Bhaskar. All right, thank you then. Bye and good night. We will meet once again on next Thursday. Thank you.